The grocer, Morrisons, says it's going to start holding auditions for local food supplies.
Well, the supermarket chain says it believes the UK needs to become more self-sufficient when it comes to food. It follows research that suggests almost half of produce consumed in the UK is imported. Charlotte Lomas reports.
You could be seeing more and more of these fine British cheeses lining your supermarket shelves, after research shows a growing appetite for homemade produce and calls from experts to make the UK more self-sufficient.
People want to have something that they can trust. They know where it's come from. They know the people that are producing it. I mean, myself and my team here were regularly out on the markets and shows, so people are actually getting to meet the people that produce the cheese and the produce as well. And I think it just helps people to trust where it's coming from.
In times of trade uncertainty following the Brexit vote and the election of President Trump, one leading supermarket is pledging to become more British, adding 200 UK businesses to its supply chain.
Obviously, with the pound being a bit weaker, with very much uncertainty around global supply chains and trade deals, it just seemed a really good time now to start to try and uncover some of these great local British producers and give them the platform of having 490 Morrisons stores to sell through.
Morrisons says this move won't mean higher prices for customers, just less reliance on food from abroad. It comes as a report shows that we import £39 billion of food to the UK and export £18 billion. UK farmers supply just over half, 52% of our food in the UK, and in total the EU supplies about a third of that produce. With 90% of food imports coming from only 24 countries, the Netherlands providing the most at 5.9%, then Spain at 5.1%, and then France at 3.3%. This global trade network has meant shoppers can choose from food from all over the world, but that variety also brings risks. Climate change like flooding and drought can play havoc with production, as can trade wars with countries, leading to calls for the UK to be more self-sufficient.
When it comes to eating the food we produce, we're very good at eating eggs, meat and dairy. More than 80% comes from the UK. And typically we like homegrown cereals, which make up about 62% of what we buy. But it's fruit and veg that we like to get from abroad. Hardly surprising given the seasonal demands. 23% of the fruit and vegetables we eat comes from the UK.
But these preferences are changing and will mean more than just securing food supply.
Local food production has many benefits in terms of it allows us perhaps to trust the food. We see where it's grown, we know the people who are growing it, we can manage the regulations around it, certainly post-Brexit. We can trust the farmers to manage the countryside in a way that we want to see the countryside. So all of those are kind of local benefits.
In the future, shoppers could see more and more British goods lining the aisles. Whether that food makes it onto the weekly shop, however, will be something supermarkets will be watching carefully. Charlotte Lomas, Sky News.